He's an absolute dog shit hero, and this is a bad mana to pick. I do not see this working out at all. Let me see what are the team comps. So it's Shifu, Ezmo. Okay, so basically, the strat for the blue team is that Shifu goes in, goes ham, does his gay shit. What? Or, sorry, that should be more. Yeah, does his stuff right. It distracts, and the Esmo does the damage. And what's actually going to happen is they're going to ignore the Shifu, clarity him away, and the Freya is just going to beat the crap out of the Esmo. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, well, thank you for centering yourself, and as what you said is going on exactly as you said, as again they ignored that Chifu, went right onto Ezmo, and Ezmo getting taken down to about a quarter already, and Ezmo doing a good job of zoning back out. But I think that they, in my opinion, right, the blue team here, Bruce Lee, needs to do a really good job of sticking onto this Lucie. Is that what they need to do here?
Basically, anyone that doesn't have the barrier, when barriers popped, it is a necessity to swap to the guy who's not buried if it's convenient.
Okay.
If you're gonna stick to the guy who's barriered, you're going to lose out on damage trades, and you see how the blue team is losing permanent health. They can't get that back, while the red team can.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they ended up going with this double DPS comp, especially since earlier in the tournament they were using a Lucie and they ended up switching to this Ezmo. So I found that kind of funny. What do you think as far as, I see Ezmo's holding on to a lot of his energy, presumably for an ultimate, which he does just drop. Will he be able to get the double kill here? Not able to. Both players actually taken dangerously low, as Shifu also taken low. Will he be able to get the kill here? No, there's the kill from the Lucie. And so... what do you think about that? I really think the M1, EXM1 on the Ezmo is actually fairly strong and is worth working into your everyday kind of play.
It's strong in a 1v1 situation, but since you have to sit there channeling really slowly for 2 seconds, like anything could happen in that 2 seconds. You don't want to have to get your entire value like waiting 2 seconds, right? You want a skill that just gets the value like right away.
Okay.
So it's an okay skill in a 1v1 situation, but in a really fast-paced 2v2 situation where you have to react to things, and it can also get interrupted, it's not as strong as it looks on paper.
Oh, okay. So, but I would say definitely needs to start incorporating his book, right? The R, get the R out there doing huge
Yes.
damage.
The R is the burst, and they only have a very small window of opportunity when barrier is down, when their escapes are down, to do damage. So he needs to use the book, like the R skill, to just min-max the burst. You know, like,
Right.
that's something he needs to do. I haven't seen him use it yet, and he's been holding on to his energy. I don't know why. The shield, yeah, is okay, but yeah, he needs to put the book more.
Yeah, I was saying that too. I was surprised he sits on a lot of energy here, and maybe it's just because of his unfamiliarity with the character a little bit. I know that I do that when I'm not as familiar with the character. I'll hold on to my energy a little bit longer than I should. But we see that initial gauge. The book is dropped almost immediately, and there's that barrier. The barrier got absolutely shredded through, though, with the use of that R. Good job not hitting the counter. I'm assuming they got to blow up this Freya here now. And
Well, I'm
go ahead.
behind, so it's gonna be
Yeah,
hard
I
for
know.
me
That's
to
what I
react.
thought about that after. I went, oh wait a second, he's like 4 seconds behind. so, I'll do it.
I see a really good opportunity in the Freya. Like the Lucy's and God knows where in like Nambia and her spawn, while the Freya was just getting 2v1.
Right, yeah. So, and that's exactly what I was talking about. I was trying to pass it to you. Forgot, though, you're on a delay, so my bad on that, Daniel. But, and my bad to the viewers. Got a little sloppy there. That was my fault. But,
No, that's okay. That's personality.
well, and so, but what you said, though, is basically when the barrier's down is focus on who you can focus. And so, this Freya pickup, I want to know what you think about the Freya pickup, because they didn't use Freya before, they used Shifu before. Is that just they didn't want to have a Shifu mirror? What do you think that pick was up for?
Well, Shifu mirror is a degenerate, so I can understand why someone would want to avoid having a Shifu mirror. And Freya is pretty alright against the Shifu as well, so it's fine if you want to avoid that degeneracy. If someone like Condemn is too stubborn to swap out of the Shifu, they avoid the mirror. And I see strategically here they're kind of losing focus. They need to. The Freya needs to focus on the Esmos. The Esmos always on the back foot and can't consistently capitalize on the opportunity Shifu creates because he's always on the back foot using his space defensively rather than offensively.
Right.
Right now he's playing scared, trying to protect the Lucie, but he needs to be confident in the fact that Lucie can, CC and avoid and tank all the damage Shifu can without being in any danger.
Right,
He needs to be
absolutely.
and he needs to focus on the Ezmo. Like there now, the Ezmo got the orb for free. He's trying to peel the Shifu, but a good Shifu is not going to be easily peeled. Just let them do the 1v1. It's fine. But I don't know what they're doing, Europeans.
Well, and as you said that, there was a couple books that were dropped there by the Ezmo, and Ezmo was able to do some absolutely insane damage. And here's the book again, and again, like you said, that Lucie is just getting poked down so hard, does get a Petrify, and the red team takes the middle orb, so they're able to heal up here a little bit more. But again, this Freya, like you said, has been staying a little far back, and now Ezmo is using her space really aggressively. Uses the ult though, and it does drop in time as Freya getting taken down finally from the harpoon into the impale, and it looks like Lucie's going to get cleaned up here now too. And so it'll be interesting to see. I think you're right. You know, if you're able to put a little bit more pressure on this Ezmo, I know my friend is trying to learn Ezmo, and he's consistently, when he gets pressure, our whole thing just kind of breaks down. And so, you know, what do you do as an Ezmo as you are taking that high pressure? What if they do end up switching this up and putting really heavy pressure on the Ezmo? What do you end up doing?
Well, you need to coordinate with your teammate. Like my personal biased opinion is that Ezmo's just not good in general. I think his design's terrible. But if you had to make it work, you need to rely on your teammate. If the Freya was playing this properly and going on the Ezmo and being successful in that, the Shifu would have to initiate on the Freya, distract her a little bit, and when Freya uses like half her kit or whatever, then Ezmo has more opportunity because it's a lot easier to survive and be aggressive against someone who uses half her kit at the start than it is someone who's like saving everything to stifle you.
Well, it's kind of funny that you say that because that's almost exactly what happened here. You see Shifu engage onto the Freya, and then Ezmo is just sitting there teeing off. So both players at or about half health. The EXQ came out onto the Shifu, but it wasn't really able to be used there as he got petrified. But it'll be interesting to see, are they going to be able to get onto this Lucie, because it looks like that's what they're trying to do. But Shifu getting focused down really hard, uses his EX space to heal up. And that's actually something we haven't talked about much in this matchup. I really feel like that the EX space from Shifu should be used a lot to help keep himself topped off. What do you think about that?
Obviously, yeah, it's really good. The spin is hard to get value out of because the Lucie is typically going to hold her role like frequently. Like she's going to be on the lookout for that, especially with the Ezmo ult and the Shifu spin. There's no way you're going to make her use roll outside of those situations. So when you're losing a lot of permanent health, it's obviously use the EX flip.
Yeah, so we see them going up 3-1 here. Are you surprised right now with this matchup? What do you think that Team Kipo needs to do here to come back? Because I'm really surprised. People said that Team Kipo won Masters of Bacon, and they're getting shut down here by this Ezmo and Shifu right now, and that's not even their main composition.
It's not skill, it's not mechanics, it's just their strategy, and they're losing confidence. They lost decisively a couple of times, but they need to realize that you're either going to beat them decisively or they're going to beat you decisively. It's not going to be close because it's a double DPS comp, especially one that can't heal themselves. They need to be more assertive, literally just sprint outside into the middle and just hope for the best. Right now they're being stuck in the corner, they're losing orb control, it's absolutely like, they're playing themselves.
So I was kind of thinking that when you have a healer, you actually want to slow things down a little bit and allow your healing to really carry you through the competition here. But it sounds like you're saying that they need to be a little bit more aggressive, and that will help the engagements be better.
Yeah, but they need to be more aggressive. Put their bodies in the center. Like you don't have to chase them off, but you can get mid control because you have the better damage mitigation. Especially with the Freya, if she hits her counter, it's absolutely disgusting.
That's a good point, is we actually saw them getting the middle orb, which is a really good use of the counter, using it to protect the orb from the impale from Shifu, and they're able to get it now. And we see Ezmo is the lowest health, so this is the opportunity for them as the grip actually landing onto Lucie. Lucie going to be taking a bit of pressure here and going to try to get away. There's the spin. Good pushback, though, as they try to get in onto this Ezmo, which is it for Ezmo. So like you said, they kind of, not really all in, but the spaces were down. They knew they were able to go in hard, and now Shifu has no energy as he wastes his ultimate, unfortunately, not able to really gain any damage. And the counters hit there. The counters used by Shifu when he doesn't have it. And this is just looking really good here for Team Kipo.
Yeah, you see how there's just a lot of mini resets in the center? They put their bodies in the center, right? And like you said, yeah, they want to play it slow, but you don't want to compromise your position. You don't want to compromise mid control by playing slow. You can have like little mini resets where everyone's kind of like in ability range, but no one wants to do anything, and people are just kind of sitting back. Like that's what you want.
And basically what that allows you to heal back up that temporary health and keep yourself full while the other team doesn't have any opportunity to really heal back up.
But they do with the mid orb. That's why you need to go in the center.
Right. So you need to control that mid orb because that's controlling their sustain now.
Yes, and you don't want them to have sustain when they have two potent damage characters.
Right. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so a good counter there pulling both players in. I think this is a good opportunity, as you said, to really go onto the Ezmo, because Ezmo had to use the space defensively, but we see them instead trading with the Shifu. And another counter hit, so jumping right back on, using that EXM1 to try to heal up a little bit as Clerney, again, using the space defensively. Shifu taken down dangerously low already. This is looking like a really, really good opportunity here for the team Kipo to take this round. And again, another counter hit pulling everybody in, and that is exactly what Freya needs to keep doing. Great counters, great job putting pressure onto Ezmo, keeping Ezmo on the back foot like you said before. And actually, Shifu's having some very unfavorable trades herself.
Yeah, Shifu versus Lucie in a 1v1, with no other factors, is heavily favored in Lucie's favor there if she knows the flowchart and she knows exactly when to use what skill and to save things for certain situations. Like, if it's okay to hit the counter if you have clarity, because if you throw the clarity exactly behind you at the moment he teleports, he's just gonna it dispels the counter bonus, it dispels his material, it snares him, it pushes him away. It's absolutely just devastating for Shifu. So the Freya needs to trust in her healer that she can style on the Shifu, and it's not going to be a big deal.
Well, and Randler, like you said, is doing a really good job and end up getting Blast Shield too. So if he ends up dispelling the after counter effects, he's able to use the Blast Shield and really create a lot of space and be able to make him use a lot of cooldowns to gap close. But Shifu already taken down 3/4 health. That was crazy. Basically, he came in without a counter and they just blew him up. But as we said before, now Ezmo's using his R there to do some really good damage onto the Lucie. Lucie taking quite a bit of pressure. The barrier's finally down. This is the opportunity for them to go onto this Lucie hard. But Shifu is taking so much damage, he doesn't want to engage. You can kind of see him in the back, not really trying to get super close on the engagement. The ultimate being used and unfortunately not doing much. Counter down here again for Shifu, and I think this is their opportunity to finally get that last kill. Will they be able to track it down? They leap in. Immaterial is going to be used. Both counters going to be used. There's the ultimate. Oh, good use of the javelin, though, to avoid it. And they get a kill onto Lucie. What a turnaround as Ezmo continued to chase onto that Lucie and ends up whittling her down. What an amazing play.
Yeah, like I said, it's the Shifu being a distraction and making the enemy team use a bunch of abilities so the Ezmo can do his skills safely. And it's really hard to do your damage safely as Ezmo, so like I said, the Freya needs to go on the Ezmo. Like, save her. You need to save your space, your leap, for when he does his space, and then use all your other skills to make him force him to use his space defensively. And then once that's down, just jump on him, stun him. It's gonna be absolutely disgusting. Like, they're too scared of the Shifu. Like, I don't know, like, they think they need to go on the Shifu for some reason. Like, no, like, just Lucie can deal with that. Just go on the Ezmo so that burst can't happen. You're gonna win sooner or later. Just make it 2 1v1s.
Right, and as you say that though, this engagement onto the Shifu was really, really good. Again, taken very low and much lower than either of the other players. And jumping back in on the Shifu, you see him continue to chase, and this is where Lucie ends up getting left alone here with the Ezmo. So we see Ezmo, oh, good job by Freya actually turning back around and zoning the Ezmo back out. So that is exactly what they need to do. Both spaces are now down for the Ezmo, though. You see the ultimate from Lucie doing quite a bit of damage, but not going to be enough to kill. There's the kill onto Shifu, and I think this is going to be pretty impossible for Ezmo to do a 2v1 here when they have 80% health combined.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. That was just a Shifu misplay. I don't know how he got that low. I don't even know like when he fleet-footed, but if he did fleet-foot, it was a very poor one.
Yeah, it's like you said, I'm not really sure what happened too. Like, I kind of felt like I looked away for a second, I looked back, and he was under half health. It was like, holy cow, man, I don't know what happened there. But it brings it back 4-4, so they have tied it up. What does Clerney and Condemn, or I'm sorry, yeah, Clerney and Condemn need to do here to guarantee themselves this victory? Do they all in onto the Lucie, or what do they need to do here?
Well, going in that corner is a death trap at the beginning. Just sprint in, push them in the corner, and then just hide behind the corner to the orb spawns, and wait, goad them out, and then they might be vulnerable in some situations because you have the better positioning in the center, like more leverage to do things.
Early on, Ezmo did a really wonderful job of avoiding the fear. The fear was just hit, but here comes the whirling blades along with the damage from Ezmo. I was going to say his R came out, and that was absolutely devastating. It's kind of like you said before, when they put both their damage onto one character, there's not a whole lot you can do about it, and that's what you want to do as a double DPS composition. But Lucie, I think this is going to be a really hard fight here for Lucie to take on both of the Shifu and the Ezmo. You see her getting whittled down here. Does have her ultimate, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to really swing the match here, because her ultimate is frankly quite avoidable.
She just needs to survive with a lot of max health until the fog comes and put the goo down. That's her only chance of winning this one.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She's not gonna. How she's playing right now, she's not gonna survive with enough max health to take the win at the fog, even with goo. So I think it's over. I don't see her winning.
Yes, and as you said, that we did just end, so it is over, and it's going to be Ezmo and Shifu again taking it. I'm really surprised that they picked this composition against a strong team. I mean, this isn't like this is a complete slouch team, you know.